And we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we are.
One night after another night. Welcome to the VP and J Show, ladies and gentlemen. We doing what we do,
Ya tú sabes.
what we enjoy doing, man. Regresamos a los micrófonos, mi gente. Ya
Hablando
ustedes
mierda.
saben. Regresamos a los micrófonos. ¿Qué es lo
Yeah,
que?
yeah, yeah. Esta noche tenemos un guest también aquí en los micrófonos. You feel me? Porque está en la línea. You know, he's out of town right now. Tenemos la línea, our boy, family member, a Dariel. Dariel en la casa.
Hey, mucho gusto, caballero. ¿Cómo usted está?
Todo bien, brother. Un placer en tenerme aquí.
No, aquí
¿Qué
estamos.
tenemos?
Aquí estamos para recibir.
Estamos, tú sabes. Nada, tú sabes, queremos estar aquí, tú sabes, para tener conversación y estar, como siempre, tenemos aquí en The VPNJ Show. You know, que a ver,
Dope.
conocer, saber un poquito de ti, vaina.
Estábamos dialogando aquí hace un ratico y me interesaba saber la mitad de ustedes por dónde empezó.
yeah,
Más o
yeah.
menos, Billy viene siendo como familia. La
Ya.
familia de Billy y la familia mía son, como se dice bien, como amigos desde shit back in the 80s, I guess, when everybody migrated from DR.
Facts.
You know, Billy's family and my family, they always been close.
Yeah.
You know, in the Alapata area. So it's just, I know Billy's way older than me. I know his brother.
Aguanta.
Wait,
Te
wow.
fuiste muy lejos. Yo te digo un añito, pero no tanto. Y que güey, yo, coño, te fuiste lejos.
Estoy tocando los 30 y ando para los 40.
Bueno, te llevo 10, eso no es nada, está bien.
Yes.
Pero, I'm actually
Nah, I
around
feel you.
Billy's nephew's age.
Yeah, facts.
If you guys don't know him, Yancy,
Yeah.
I'm around
Yancy.
his age and around, you know. So my uncle is actually, I guess, both Nico and Fanny.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a generation thing where everybody that's coming up is close and everybody knows everybody.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
well, us Dominicans tenemos esa racha de decir, so, ese es mi tía, ese es mi primo,
Primo.
y nada más éramos vecinos. You know, we did that. Yeah, we did
Y
that.
tú conoces a Feli también, porque Feli live right down 32nd and you on 34, so it's right there. We
Yeah,
grew up right
yeah.
Yeah.
after.
So basically, you guys have known each other always.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are the ones that become family more than family. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Facts.
could always be, you always could count on each other to build that bond.
But to even go deeper on it, I'm not sure. I think Billy went to school with my uncle, Nico, or he went to school with one of my aunts. Somebody went to school.
Yeah,
But-
I
but-
played baseball. Sorry, P. I played baseball with Nico, and the first baseball team that I came in and started playing, that was his first team too in America. That's how I met him too as a kid. I
So
was
so
probably like 10
so
years old, 9 years old.
entre comillas, lo está poniendo más viejo todavía. Because you said that's my aunt or my uncle. O sea que el chamaquito va lejos en edad.
I can't deny the age, DK.
Que tú sabes que todo el mundo de Alapara, everybody went to Jackson some way, somehow, you know,
Yeah.
somebody related to somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true. Wait, but you went to Jackson?
No. Actually, I went to Gables my freshman year.
Yeah.
And I was in Miami, and then we moved to Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
That's when because my dad lived here in Baltimore ever since we came from DR.
Yeah.
But then my mom didn't come to my sophomore year of high school. So my mom came from DR. We all moved to Baltimore with my parents. So me and my younger brother. So yeah, I left Miami 2011. I left Miami.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, está bien. But so over there, when you went up north, you pursue your baseball career, right? You kept.
Yeah. We did all the baseball stuff up here. Once we left Miami, yeah.
Well, sorry, I kind of fast forward. I was gonna ask because I knew that you played baseball and stuff, you know. So you were playing baseball here. You started playing baseball here, and then you kept playing baseball up north.
Yeah. So like everybody from the hood again, Latin America was the first thing we started playing with Toribio. Toribio was the coach of Latin America.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody knows
Yeah.
Toribio.
Mi es
Sure.
cuñado.
Yeah.
Yeah, el ex cuñado de Billy. And
That why he was started. That why he was starting, right? That's the only reason why he was a
Say it
starter.
again.
No, I didn't play it with him. I didn't play.
Oh, I'm
He
about to
said that
say.
was the only reason I was the starter, nigga. Nah, I didn't play.
No.
I didn't play
Hey,
with
remember,
them.
you guys forgetting Billy's way older.
Yeah. Bueno, I'm not gonna say too much, que yo estoy cerquita de ahí. Somos vecinos.
No
yo.
diga nada,
Well,
no. We went to school together
Well,
too.
and
Pete.
Jason no fue lejísimo.
I'm the oldest one.
Aquí tú
I'm
sabes.
even older than this old nigga.
45 tú
Oh,
tienes.
whoa.
Wait, 43, 44.
Don't kill me yet, motherfucker. Hold on. I'm 44.
Pero tú estás bien. That's a couple of months that went for 45.
Yeah.
But listen, remember, I don't plan on living that long. You know, I have a certain time, you know. So you're putting me 1 year closer to death, motherfucker.
Al diatre, óyelo.
Pues sí, manito. Entonces, your journey, what it was in the game of baseball, man. Explícame.
Oh man, so bueno, it was a change of culture also coming up here up north. Everything was different. You know, we had to make our name for ourselves up here.
Damn.
Said when I came up here, started at a public school because we didn't really know, you know, what was the league like here. You're
Yeah.
always chasing, you know, the good, you know, baseball leagues when it comes to high schools.
Yeah.
So being new to the state, it was a little tough at the beginning. You know, my dad didn't really know. Typical Dominican guy, just went to work, didn't really know, you know, how stuff worked up here.
Yeah.
So first year, sophomore year, went to public school. You know, did my thing, started making a name for myself out in this
Okay.
area. Then private school baseball came after me, and
Oh,
and I
nice.
finished my last 3 years at a private school, probably one of the top private schools in the country.
Nice.
It's called Carroll Hall.
Ooh.
And then from there.
So it was a lot of scouts already looking at you in that private school.
Yeah, the private school opened up a lot of doors, man. And it was actually
Into
a quick story, like a backstory through that. Tú sabes que uno siempre fresco. So the public school I went to,
Yeah.
I was, I won't say her name, but I was knocking on this girl, you know.
Yeah, we don't gotta mention.
Yeah, we
names,
never
but
say
you
names here.
You can say we love the story, but you don't gotta mention the names. It's all right.
No, I'm not going to say the name. That was years ago. But through that, found out that she had two cousins, Dominicans too, that played at this private school.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, my dad is friends with the coach. If you want, you know, I could talk to my dad, and then my dad could talk to the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it went. That's how the connection was made. And then the coach came and saw me, and the rest was history.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know it was the past, but I mean, before that connection, that she asked, like, "Damn, what's up? We gotta go on a little date or something." If I could tell my dad.
It didn't really go that far.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I went up to her, you know, tú sabes, de fresco. She turned me down. You know, I could probably say she turned me down.
Yeah.
But, you know, she helped me with the connection.
Yeah,
man.
that was the good part. Yeah, at least she wanted to help. That was the thing. She wanted to help.
That was the turn down that you didn't need. So you got the one you needed. You know
Facts.
what I'm saying? You can have the turn down, but help me this way.
Hey, we lost a lot of battles, man, but we won a few, though.
Yeah, for sure. So that and conversation before we took off, Villas had mentioned your title right now, what you do for a living, and obviously he had it wrong. So you know, talk to me. Give me some insight about that. How that life is, because yo como una persona que soy, you know what I'm saying, a fan of the sport as a whole, you know, I would love to get, you know, the line of work that you're doing. Talk to the people, man, and to myself, by the way.
Yeah. So, not to jump apart. So, let's finish up with the baseball career. So, the baseball career.
Oh, for sure.
after
Appreciate
high
that.
School, after high school, went to college. Went back to Miami to play at Miami-Dade Community College, the one in Kendall. And I didn't make the team. I did make the team, but I was offered a red shirt there at the community college. You know, talking to the coach at the time, he was like, you know what? I think you're a good player. I just don't have a spot for you. And he made some calls in front of me at JUCO in Iowa.
Okay.
Burlington, Iowa.
Yeah.
And I took off again from Miami, went down to Iowa, did a year there in Iowa. Came back. It was a good experience. It was different, really different. Didn't think baseball was that good as it was over there.
Yeah.
Came back to Miami. So in the summer, came back to Miami after I did the spring season. So I did the fall at Miami-Dade, and then when spring season played in Iowa, was off to a bad start, but ended up winning an everyday job and played every day, put up the numbers. And that's where I kind of admit, not one of the mistakes, but something if I go back, I would have done different. I would have went back to Iowa.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was like, it's too cold up there. I don't want to play that far. I want to stay close. Started looking for school nearby.
You would have had a better chance. Sorry, you would have had a better chance.
Yeah, I would have had a better chance going back because there would have been my second year there. I would have played. I probably would have got scouted. Because at the time, you're really not looking to get drafted out of JUCO. You're kind of looking to get to a Division I school and taking off from there. That was kind of like, the path.
Yeah.
So I didn't go back. Ended up playing in West Virginia. I ended up finding a school in West Virginia.
And from there,
Mm-hmm.
from there, did you get like to sign or something to the minors?
No, I never made it to the minors. I played my next 2 years there. I had really, really good years.
Yeah.
And then that's when the downfall came for my senior year of college. Coming back, I left. I know I left the school in the spring, so in the fall. So to add up to that, my younger brother's coming up at the time. My younger brother, my senior year of senior year of college, my brother's a senior in high school. So my brother's actually a top prospect in the country at this time.
Yeah.
And we're having meetings with scouts, and he's actually in the verge of getting drafted. So a lot of the scouts are telling me, we scouted you as well, and there's a chance that if we take your brother, we might make an exception and take you also. So, confidence starts getting up. I'm like, oh man, this is what I want to do. So I want to have a good year so that junior year, have an amazing year. The talks is like, okay, there's a chance that we could take you. So that summer, the draft is in July. So once the college season is over, you kind of play in the summer. And my coach, I remember like today, my coach, he's like, I'm going to make some call. I'm going to get you in the summer team because the scouts are telling me, look, we want you to play in the summer, and we're going to scout you from there because, the league that you're in is not that good of a league, but we want to see you perform against,
top talent
prospects.
Yeah.
Upper talent. And then, we can make a decision. So none of this is guaranteed. This is just talk from scouts saying that there's a possibility, if they see me a little more.
Yeah.
So,
fast forward.
Scouts call.
Brother.
Fast forward. The scouts call. I'm gonna end this here. So they call for the summer team, and they're like, okay, the guy from the summer team gets in contact with me. Yeah, you have a spot. So this is a Thursday. The guy calls me. Yeah, you have a spot on the team. Just get down on Monday morning. Be here, and then you're playing that same Monday. So Friday, I don't call the guy. Saturday, I call the guy and send him a text, let him know, hey, I need the address because I'm gonna drive down. I was in Baltimore and I was gonna drive down to Virginia to play, and I don't get an answer from the guy. Then Sunday, blow him up again, don't get an answer from the guy. And I'm like, man, where am I gonna go Monday? This guy said to come down. So fast forward, the guy never reached out. Monday comes, I never go. I start calling. I call my coach. The coach is, he's like, oh, I don't know what happened. This, that. I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna get back to you. Nobody's getting back to me. Come to find out from one of the scouts, calls me. He's like, hey, so your coach called and he kind of put in a bad word about you. Said you had attitude problems, had this and that. And I was like, wow. And he kind of promoted another player on the team instead of you, and they gave a spot to the other player.
Damn, that's messed
up. So that
up.
right there. Yeah. So that right there was kind of like the downfall. And I was like, you know what? Se me quitan toda la gana de jugar baseball. I didn't go back to the school, and that was the end of my baseball career.
Damn, the coach kind of lied to your face. He was like, oh, this is gonna be okay. Oh, we let you know. But then really, he was telling that he was bad mouthing you.
Yeah. And I never. Everybody that knows me, I never been a bad mouth kid. Tú sabes que a veces uno in the heat of a game, but I never had an issue with none of my partners on the team. So that was kind of the thing of, I don't want to do this baseball thing anymore. And I probably should have never gave up, but that's another lesson you learn when it comes to chasing that dream.
Yeah.
So mentally, I didn't want to do it anymore. I said, you know what? So I stayed in Baltimore, and then that next fall, I just went back to school and just became like a regular college student.
But how where it came into the profession you do now?
Okay, and then ese mismo año, July came around. My brother was looking to hire a sports agent. My
Oh.
younger brother. So we interviewed agency,
Yeah.
interviewed different people. We ended up going with the agency I actually work for now, which is Moss. The Moss Agency is the name of the agency. Yeah, so the guy, my brother's agent, Francis Marquez, I used the connection through it. I reached out to him. I said, look, man, I'm in my senior year of college, and I'm just going to school, but I'm kind of looking into working in professional baseball. You know, I'm willing to do any type of job as long as, I'm around the game.
Yeah.
So he kind of said, you know what, I'm going to give you, we met, like the personality, toda la cosa. He said, I think you'll be good for this job, man. So I'm going to contract you for a year, see how you like it, and then see how everything goes from there. And that was 4 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
4
he
years ago on that part.
so he was an extension to the agency, and he helped you become become an agent.
He's the owner of the agency.
Oh, okay, that's what I was
And
trying to get
he's-
to.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the owner of the agency, and he's
Nice.
my brother's agent.
Nice.
That
Oh
I
wow.
hired at the time. So,
And so that everyone can know, sorry, all the listeners can know, what officially is your job title?
So I'm a sports agent. I'm actually certified by the Players Union. So basically, I recruit and I service players. That's kind of the title of the job. So I
Alright.
recruit clients recruit players to come to the firm, and I service the players when it comes. So service meaning anything that a player needs outside of baseball or inside of baseball. I'm kind of the first call there for them.
Oh,
Okay.
está bien.
Mhm.
So with that said, how many clients you have?
So right now I have. So I break them down. So you got the players that are not pros. Those are the guys that are going into the draft. So
Okay.
usually your typical college and high school kids. And then you have the guys that are already in pro.
Okay.
And pro, we could put them all together. There's some guys that are playing in Mexico, some guys that are playing independent ball.
Mm-hmm.
So at the pro level, I have a total of 11 players.
Okay.
At the amateur level, I have a total of 8 players.
Not bad.
That's 19.
Not bad. Not bad.
Guess you've been doing your
Due diligence.
Due diligence, and
My
with,
God,
we're running it for
Might
what,
be
4
heavy.
years? You said that's
Yeah,
a
so
that,
this is going on my 5th year. Now in September will be my 5th.
that's a nice number to have. 19 clients. You know what I'm saying? You going in for your 4th year, and you're still
Yeah,
around the game. It's
that's what I was
beautiful.
about
That's
to
a good thing.
Yes,
That's what's up.
sir.
Yeah, and it's actually logo. It's a really hard profession because honestly, to come in and make a name for yourself and have these professional guys kind of believe in you, and well,
And trust you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Trust you, and then the one because every time you come around people that have been doing this for you, the first thing you ask them is what have they done right and what mistakes they made, to be in this game for so long and doing this agency stuff. And everybody tells me the hardest thing to do is to keep the guy.
Yeah.
There's gonna be baseball it's a sport that you're gonna fail a lot. So a lot of guys, when stuff is not clicking right, are you gonna stick there by that guy? When you make a mistake, are you gonna tell the guy, look, I messed up? Are you gonna be a yes man and be like, okay, let's do this? No. Sometimes you gotta let the client know, hey, we shouldn't do that. We should do this. And I actually had clients fire me before because, quote unquote, we keep it real with them. And some people don't like that.
Right. It can't be easy because all these stars and stuff like that, they're used to like being like put on a pedestal by their friends. Yeah, this is you're amazing, stuff like that. So to hear the truth from somebody else, they probably don't want to hear that.
Yeah, or they just probably expected something else. You feel me? That is true.
And for the parents that might be, they will listen to this hopefully, that could probably guide their kids in that direction, because everybody's not built to be an athlete. Although, there's people. We know a lot of people that, in your case, you know what I'm saying, you had the path and things didn't go right. We have a friend of ours right here just hanging with us tonight, which he could have made it pro. He had, and things just don't work out a lot of the times. So for those
Thank you, Pete.
parents,
Thank you,
yeah,
Pete.
for those parents, right? For those parents that wanna teach their kids that there is something else after the game, right? That you can still be involved in the game. What school is required for that? Like, what do you need to go to school for? What are the classes you need to take in college? What it takes? What are the nuance to be able to be an agent?
To be an agent, to be a professional baseball player, because I could.
No, an agent. Let's say if all fails in any sport, right, and your kid can't make it because he broke a leg and he can't make it, right? So now as a parent, because this is an adult audience, listening podcast, right? So we're hoping just adults listen, because a lot of the time we're talking sideways. But
Damn fucking
nonetheless, nonetheless, for those parents, that hear us, if they could tell their child, hey, listen, there's another route to go if you cannot make it in sports. So that's why I'm asking you, so you could teach us and the listeners how we make that happen. What is the schooling that's required?
Honestly, you don't need any schooling, quote unquote, with it. I'd say the biggest thing to work, because when I don't even put it in the in the sense of, I'm gonna be an agent, because there's a lot of guys that change profession in the baseball industry. I put it down as just working in the baseball industry. No matter how you get into the baseball industry, you can get in as a coach, you can get in as a scout, you can get in, working for the front office, you can get in as probably video analyst, which is probably the opportunity that is being given now since the game has changed a lot. No matter how you can be a clubby, no matter how you get into it. You have to be ready when the opportunity presents. A lot of people want this job. A lot of people want this job, because this is a beautiful job to have. Not just being an agent, just working in the baseball industry, because you're doing something you love for a game you love, and you're kind of behind the scenes. You kind of know what goes on before stuff becomes, public.
Right.
So schooling is important. Most companies will have the typical, let me see your degree and all that stuff. But to me, it's kind of like, surround yourself around good people. Listen. Always offer to learn. Don't ever try to come into this game and trying to like it all.
That's a fact.
And just use your connections, man. And open doors, man. I always ask for opportunity. I remember when I was looking for a job, even with my brother's agent, I used to email him once a month and kind of let him know, hey, look, I'm ready for any opportunity. If you hear from anybody, I'm willing to do anything. And he saw that, the guy really wants it. And when you come around people, be yourself. Don't try to be somebody you're not. And if you're a good person and they see that in you, they'll give you opportunity. And even to those people that don't have a baseball background, because there's people some of my colleagues that played in the major leagues, and most of them, it's not easy for them to get a job either, because the game has changed so much.
Right.
So when it comes to analytics, and most of the people that are working in front office are guys from Harvard, Harvard, Yale, guys that can work for NASA. They're like
the smart boys, But that's why I was asking, right? Because I have a nephew, right, that the AAUs in basketball traveled. Puerto Rico wanted to sign him. He went to Navy. He went to Princeton. He went to Princeton. The height just didn't help him, right? If I had to put my last dollar on the reason why he didn't make it to that next level, it was the height. Because he had the heart, he had the smarts. Obviously, if he get a full ride in Princeton, your IQ is pretty decent, right?
He was balling too.
Yeah, and he was balling. But with him now, I know he still want to chase the game. And he's probably on that path, right? Like, let me see where else do I fit in, as coaching, as whatever the case may be. And that's why I wanted to ask you: is there like a bachelor or an associate, a doctor's degree, something to get you in the door Of course, you got to have everything else. You got to have the love for that game. That's the first step you need to have. And then that's why I was asking you, if there's any degree that you need to kind of boost you to really walk in and kick a door in and be like, okay, I'm here for my opportunity.
You don't really need it, but it's just a good look, you know.
Got it.
Once you, once you send in the resume and it has that behind, I tell guys, I got friends of mine who tell me all the time, hey, man, you know, are they hiring, or, you know, any agency that's looking for agents, I want to be an agent. And I tell them, look, man, the best way to get into this game is have guys ready. If you bring guys in before you come in, you have a group of guys, you'll be like, look, I have the background, I have the degree, and I have all this stuff, but on top of that, the most important thing for these companies is to see, are you going to bring in commission? Because at the end of the day,
It's
if
a
you don't bring
business.
in commission,
It's a business. Yeah.
you know, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, we're putting all this money into you and your players, but your players are not bringing in commission at the end of the year. And that's what I like about the company I work for, because they don't really enforce that. They kind of let you grow in at the beginning, because it's really hard, you know, to bring in commission when you're just coming in and you're trying to learn, you know, how to scout and how to look for the players and how to get in contact with the players. And they kind of give you those first couple of years, which is like, you know what, it's fine. You know, we're going to teach you, we're going to walk you through and let you grow. And it's really hard. That's why I'm really grateful for the opportunity I got, and I took advantage of it, to bring you in from zero and kind of have you there and kind of walk you through. Most of the guys already have guys that, you know, that come into the agency. They already have a couple guys, and they've been independent. Now they want to merge with, you know, with agencies. So just to summarize everything, man, open doors, use your connection. The connection is probably the most important thing.
Eso sí es verdad.
If you know people, let them know you're available. Show them that, you know, what you're good at. You know, you got to be, if you're, for me, for example, I think my best is my interaction with the guys. When I approach a guy to scout him or to recruit him, I kind of relate to them, and it's not kind of like a business interaction with them. And I come up to them and it's like, oh, look, let me talk to you about the agency. We're going to do this for you. We're going to get you that.
Right.
And I keep it real with them, and it's kind of like, look, man, I know where you're at. I feel like you came so far, and certain things that if we come in, we can clean up, we can help you with this and help you with that, and you can help us also, because at the end of the day, you got to be balling.
Yeah.
You're not going to recruit a guy that's not doing well, is on his way out of baseball.
No, you
And
went
then-
through that too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, well, the last thing I have for you before I let you go, for me, from my end, I don't know if the guys got something else to add to that. My next trip to Boston, or semi close to wherever you're at,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's just a high school recruit or you know, somebody in college, I would like to just rock with you. You know what I'm saying? See that side of the world, right? Because again, I'm a sports fan, period. Like in all sports, and you guys' job is major, right? Because it wouldn't exist. So I would like to see how that life is. You know, just to get around. You know, just to see how the back end works, because we used to seeing people on TV, and the superstars and this and the shoes and the money. There's a lot of things that go behind, you know, the back channels that people don't see, and I would love to experience that, even if it's just watching you interact with your clients. So whenever I make it close to you, I will be reaching out to you, man, so you could, you know, show me around.
Not for sure. Every time you're in the Northeast area, you know,
All right.
Mid-Atlantic, anywhere up here from Maine to Carolinas, man, just hit me up.
Dale, my brother, for sure. I appreciate that.
Yeah, minor league baseball's around, major league baseball's around. You know, we'll catch a game, and after the game, you know, we'll link up with one of the players, and you can just see how the vibe is.
That's it. That's. I just want to witness that. You know, because it goes the same thing for an agent in every sport. You know, it's just the interaction. I would love to witness that at some point. So yeah, I appreciate you even opening the doors for me to interact with you on one of those vibes.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, before we let you go, changing the subject right quick. Let's go into last night and the past 2 days. What you guys think? Well, you, Ariel, and everybody here about the NFL draft.
In particular, one player. That's what we want to say.
I mean, I was gonna
I know-
make it.
I know
there.
what we're talking
I was
about.
gonna make it. There.
You know,
Before we get into that one player, is Travis Hunter playing both ways or not? Let's kill that bird.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this.
Did he
We
water?
could say no. Some people could say yeah. But I'm gonna tell you like this: if he has,
You think the owner would allow it?
if he has at least one snap a game on the opposite side of the field, he's playing both ways.
That's true.
That's it. No.
And other players done it, right? Other players
But
done
that's
it.
but that's what I'm saying though.
Yeah, we got our boy Ali over here, perdón, Pete. We got our boy over here, Ali. You know, he played football. He knows what's up too.
He ain't gonna
if-
talk. He a little shy, but you know.
if he finds his way
right.
at any
Look.
time of the game,
Right.
with a play drawn and the opposite
Look.
side for him to be on the field, he playing both ways.
I know you don't agree with me, but I think personally, like, he could be a full-time starter as a corner and be like a third down wide receiver.
Is he better as a corner? I think he's a better corner than a wide receiver.
I think he's a better corner too.
Yeah, he is. He is. But like I was telling them before we came on air, based on what I read, he feels like there's a more impact in the game as a receiver than a corner. So we
Yeah,
got to
that
see
is
how he goes in. If he goes in as a true receiver, then at that point our bets are off because
You
it's
got
more
you got
work.
more light.
But in the end, it's not going to be what he wants. If the coaches feel that he's better served on the defense,
the
he's going to have to
owner-
do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the owner. come
I
from the top, basically.
mean, we don't.
What you think, Ali?
they don't run the show.
Hold on. We don't know what his agent said to those people. You know what I'm saying? We could speculate anything right now,
But-
because it's less wear and tear on the body. As a corner, you would
Right.
think.
That's true.
Although a lot of receivers are decoy, they don't do nothing. They go out there and just put a body and just,
Right.
you know, let's be realistic.
Hay muchos pretty boys.
You know, there's a lot of them guys that go out there and just tuggle.
It's not the same anymore.
So we don't know. You know what I'm saying? We
What I'm
gotta-
saying is that there's a lot of receivers that don't block. You know what I'm saying? Like, on the
Right,
running-
we don't know. Well, but again, we gotta wait and see what it is.
Right.
Right? Because you would think,
Right.
it's better
But-
for him to play corner
But
and a little bit of
But if
receiver.
it was my team and he say, "Oh, the agent came in with a stipulation. Oh, I make sure he does this." I'm already like, I don't want him. I don't want to. He was already coming with too much shit.
Well-
Same thing that happened with Sanders.
Well, but he said it, and they forfeit. They went up another 3 spots and gave the bag to move up. So whatever he told them, they're gonna deal with it. I don't know what he told them.
There was a plan. Yeah, there was a plan. But this is if I'm his agent, and this is what I'll say. I'll be like, look, Travis, we got to make this bag first. So let's be a everyday receiver because receivers are gonna get paid. Put in 3 years, 4 years of killing the league, just being a receiver. Get the bag, and now we could try this other playing both ways stuff. After 4 years in the league, you're gonna be bigger, better. You're gonna be a great elite receiver, then you could be a all right, corner. That's
Hey,
how I will approach
That
it.
makes sense. That makes sense right there.
And not only that, you're gonna learn as a receiver, you're gonna
Yeah,
learn how
you will.
how them corners move in the pro level. So you're gonna be able to even learn more. Right. I see what you're saying.
Right. And he hasn't really mastered one position. Like if you look at his number and actually study, I'm not like the big into football, I know it well.
Uh-huh.
But if you look at the number, he's not. If you look at the draft, you break it down. Is he the best, corner in the draft? I don't think so. Is he the best receiver in the draft? I don't
Nope.
think so.
Nope, he's
The
not.
thing that makes him so well is that he could do both at a good level.
Yeah.
So I want him to master one first, and then we could, be all right. Let's do
Coño,
this
do it.
experiment.
That's why you're an agent, my nigga. You right. You right. Nah, that is true. It makes sense. You feel me?
But going back to Shador Sanders, why do you feel that he dropped so much?
Man,
Great
I've
question.
been reading on it a lot. I've been interested on it a lot because
Shit, everybody.
I'm like, man, it's really unheard of. You heard a guy drop off the first round and he goes in the second round, or a top 3 round goes like, let's say 16 or something like that. But to drop that low, it's something bigger than the game. I think his dad impact and what they said and how they kind of managed the media. I think that's the biggest reason. I think it has nothing to do with his game. Everybody
Thank
that he
you.
played.
Thank
So I think it has everything to do with the dad coming out saying, hey, there's certain teams I don't want him to go to. Him not doing certain interviews. I know they're big on interviews in the NFL.
Yeah.
They want to know the guy personally. And, he didn't go to the combine. I know that part. They did like their own combine. I feel like the way they kind of, I feel like before you talk shit, you gotta put up numbers, man. You gotta have numbers to talk
That
shit.
is
I feel
true.
like.
Eso es, para lo que hemos visto, and it's true, everybody have said it, you know. I don't think that he came out right, you know, too much cockiness and all this and arrogant being, so.
I mean, shit.
But even with the cockiness, I feel like you have to have that. Like, you want a quarterback to be like, yo, I'm the best in the league because he's gonna make the team better. If the quarterback has that confidence, I just feel like when it comes to the media, dude, you have to keep that on the field in-house.
Yeah, or you think that it was because of he had a little bad review in the combine and shit. Oh, he's too short. He don't got a long arm, whatever. He didn't throw right.
There's no critique. There's no critique to his game, man. The guy could play. The guy put up. If you look at his numbers, man, he had a bad team and he won in college. I got a buddy of mine that says that he didn't play nobody. That's another topic. That Colorado didn't play no competition in the 2 years he was there, and I feel like he did. Because they ranked 23 in the country.
I mean, we got a football player, ex-football player here. He said he did
I'll tell
it.
you this. There's two things that he's lacking
But it is
that's
another
important
topic.
in modern day NFL. He doesn't have an arm, and he can't run. You know what I mean?
They
Like,
say that he can throw.
he doesn't have an arm. Like, he has an average,
I mean,
average arm. He
but
can't.
hold on.
Not every day.
In his defense, I'm gonna say two things. In his defense, I'm gonna go first with why I think it will jeopardize him more. I'm gonna say this. I think it's mainly his dad. You know that Sanders name, although he was great,
Yeah.
he has flourished as a coach in college. I think the cockiness that comes with it, the lamplight that comes with it,
That's the
I think people don't want to deal with that. But that's my belief. There's no concrete.
that piece.
That's not on stone. Now, the fact that he did it in Jackson State,
What?
and then the way he played,
Okay.
and when he transitioned to a Division I, he still came the same style of play. You know, he didn't digress, because that would have been worse if he come from them little small colleges, a Division II, I think they are Division III. I don't even know
Yeah,
what they
Division
are.
2 or 3, I'm not sure.
And then you go to Division I, he still did his thing. You know what I'm saying? So, and now when it comes to, there's a lot of pro quarterbacks that don't have an arm. There's a lot of pro quarterbacks that don't have an arm,
Right.
and and they still make it happen. So I think all those things kind of backfired on him. But I think the main thing for my belief is the old boy. You know what I'm saying? The old boy, them people come with pressure, man. Them people come with a lot of pressure. The media, they're gonna be in them people's face. They're
They
gonna be
got
in them
their
people's
own
locker
little
room.
media too going on.
You know, it's a lot that goes on with the Sander family. But I wish him the best. I hope he go out there and flip the league, because I feel like they tried him. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe.
He probably, to me, I think he gonna ball out. Go ahead, Ariel.
Yeah. There's a topic people are forgetting. There's an older son that is not that good, and he's not even at the top of it. Shador was actually, he was projected to go, top 5.
Right.
They had that narrative going. So the dad plays a lot of influence, but it's kind of like, bro, the guy balled out. Like, if you kind of want a guy like that. Like, for example, I feel like certain teams, like the Steelers, everybody's talking about, they don't have a quarterback. I think he would have been your best option, honestly.
For real, based
That's
on
what-
what they
that's what I've been
have,
saying.
everybody
That's
said
what
the same thing. I really thought the Steelers were gonna grab him. I mean, you got Mike Tomlin there. There's an organization that doesn't allow the nonsense.
Come on, man.
Right, they don't allow nonsense. You know what I'm saying? You're no player is bigger than that team. Than the organization as a whole. So it would have been perfect for him to go there. There's something else behind all of that.
Humble
but
him down.
that's what I'm saying. They would have.
Yeah.
They would have. But let's see. He ended up in the worst place that he could have,
Right.
which is
Because
the Browns.
5 quarterbacks they have right now on
Right.
the team.
On top of everything else, 5 quarterbacks.
2 of them that they're going to be there no matter what. Flacco, because he's starting. Deshaun Watson, because they paid him the money. That's dead money right there. And then you have the kid that they drafted at quarterback before him. You know what I mean? As well.
From Oregon.
Yeah, but
So it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard for him. And they got Kenny Pickett, but whatever. It doesn't really...
But that goes to show you, man. There's teams that stay being who they are, and they will continue to be who they are, because why would the Browns do that? That it don't make no sense to no one.
That's why the Browns are the Browns, like you
Yeah.
said.
Say that again.
In one part, if he has a little bit of success, and the media, everybody's gonna have to hear it from him.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I broke it down to one of my friends earlier. I was like, look, there's teams that have a quarterback in place, right? That not that they're good enough, but as soon as they throw a pick, everybody would have been screaming for his name. There's like at least 10 to 15 teams in the league in that status. And then you have probably like another 10 teams that have a solidified starter. Like, we're not touching those guys because we're not doing that. It's not even about the money. We're just locked in with those guys. But then there's a few teams out there that could have taken him, but they're afraid, you know what I'm saying, of everything that comes with it. Because he will be bigger than an NFL team, depending the team. You know what I mean? So that's the thing, which the Browns is probably one of those. His name might be bigger than the Browns, unfortunately.
Yep.
But
I'm
that's
with
it,
it.
man.
Vamos a ver qué es lo que es. Pero Dariel, muchísimas gracias, you know.
Hey, my
Tuning
brother,
in.
I appreciate you, man. I'm going to take that invite for sure, man.
Thank
When
you
I-
for your time.
Anywhere I'm on the coast, on the east, northern side of the state, I'll be ringing you up, man, just to kind of see the other side of the world, man, because you on another stratosphere.
All right. Thank you for giving us your time. It was nice meeting you.
You know what it is.
Nah, for sure. Thank you guys, man, for having me, man. Let's do this again, man. I kind of like this.
Nah, for sure. You know, I know it was not enough time, you know. But I know we can keep going, you know what I mean? Tenemos más historia. No, we barely got into it, to be honest. De verdad,
Yeah, man,
verdad.
let's do this again, man.
All right, my brother. God bless, man. Be good out there, man.
Ya tú sabes.
And I'm gonna text you all my kids' names just in case in the future you see one of those names, sign them.
Facts.
Hey, man, take the ball, man. Listen, just send me the year they graduated high school, man. I can start sending to the scouts right now.
Dale, my brother. Dale. I got you, bro. Take care, man.
You already know my last name.
Yeah. All right. Be good.
All right, my brother. Have a good one.
The
Bye.
VP and J Show. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend.
Ya lo sabe. Ali, ¿qué es lo que?
No, don't put him on the spot.
You
You
already
don't even
know.
want people to know he's in the city.
But
That's how it is. Because once he's in the city,
Incognito.
first of
all
all,
good.
you messed up by saying the name. We don't say names wrong.
Hey.
You
don't
should have
know-
said A. It's A. A is here.
But you know who
El
I'm talking
mudo.
about.
He's already.
I didn't want to go there. You're giving it out. Might as well, we just gonna ride. We out of here.
Yeah.